Hey everybody, welcome to AfterBuzz TV. We are here to talk to you about the challenge, season 30, episode 7 tonight, Ankles Aweigh, so we'll be right back.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh, we started with a little
I like it. Got me excited. Fitting, very fitting for what we saw tonight.
Yeah, so we have this new Taylor Swift song because it's taken the world by storm, and I feel like it's a little relevant to the challenge. It's got a lot of competitiveness in it.
Right, and especially the
Look, she don't trust nobody trusts her.
Very true, very true.
That's how Anissa feels.
Yes, I'd say so. I definitely say so. She looked pretty angry at the end of that episode, and rightfully so.
Okay, well, enough with the corny tying into our theme song tonight. Welcome, guys, to the AfterBuzz After Show for the challenge on MTV, season 30, Dirty 30. I am your host tonight. We are missing our double P ladies tonight. Paulina and Pamela are out. But my name is Jenna Bussiere, and you can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere. To my left, we have the male representation of this after show. Tell him what's up, David.
And my name is David Punkrock Christopher, and you can also find me on Twitter at DPR Christopher, and of course Instagram at David Punkrock Christopher. How's it going?
All right, so we are talking Ankles Aweigh tonight. We start with the Tori versus Marie elimination, which I don't even know if you could call that an elimination. Honestly?
Yeah, that was more of like a beatdown, I think.
Tori 100% manhandled Marie.
Right. There wasn't, at least from the show, it didn't seem like there was really much of competition there. She just, as soon as, they let him go, it was done.
My favorite part is that Marie then goes into her confessional interview and says, if I could have done this again, I have no doubt that I would have won that. What are you talking about? You didn't even lift a finger. You didn't do anything. You barely put up a fight, but you have no doubt that you would have won that elimination had you had a second chance.
Yeah, I'm curious what exactly she meant by that. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I was kind of
exactly. What's your thought process behind that?
Right.
Okay, so if you could do it again, you should have just won the first time then.
Or at least had somewhat of a competition, something but yeah. So I don't know. I think I don't know what she was talking about.
Yeah, I know, for real. And so we also have Tori, who, if you had any doubts, she just killed all of them. I think we all were really excited to see her perform in this kind of elimination because, of course, she has that build, she has that competitor in her. But we did see her kind of flunk out in that competition when she was with Tony. So I think it was important to see her in this kind of atmosphere and see what she's like as a competitor. And yeah, she's no joke.
Yeah, I agree. I think we kind of expected that, you know what I mean, going into that. And yeah, she showed it. She dominated and, she got the win. So,
yeah. And we also, we picked up a little bit from last week, which was Ammo having a panic attack and crying. And we see him get taken away in an ambulance. However, there's no MTV or Butte and Murray, the production company, gives us no information on why that happened.
Right.
Which we know because we saw on Ammo's blog, but...
Right, he talked and posted about it. Man, of course, MTV and Butte and Murray, they chose not to, say much about it, which, I guess rightfully so. But, yeah, from what we know of what he said, yeah, it's... Obviously, he said on the show, too, it's better just his mental health condition and stuff. He just felt it was better just to go home.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. I just did think it was kind of weird that they wouldn't, especially being MTV. I feel like they have that platform. They had the Real World, and that's when they first brought up the situation of HIV and AIDS, and they made it kind of something that's in mainstream media. So it's weird to me that they wouldn't bring up it being a PTSD issue of rape. They could have used that and touched upon it, but maybe it would have just opened the door too much and they wouldn't be able, they have a show, an hour show they have to produce.
That's true. And maybe they did have something like that, and maybe just didn't make it, they didn't think it was the best for the final cut or what, I don't know. I think I would have appreciated it a little bit more, just to have a little more insight on it, maybe not even that specific, but just kind of know what's going on exactly. But so they didn't say much about it, so, but I mean, again, hopefully you're doing all right, Ammo.
Yeah. Holding out for your Ammo. So we see now, okay, this is what I was so excited about this week. Marie gets kicked off, and you think the Redemption House is done, right? Like, that was completely out of my head.
What the heck just happened? Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I thought this was over. I thought everybody's going home, and then too, like, what's also, poor girl, she's just kind of hanging out by herself, like, poured herself drinks. Like
the amount of alcohol that I would consume. Okay, they had to give her like a TV or a phone because you're not supposed to have anything on these shows. It is just her.
Right.
She's going to go crazy. She's going to come back into the show like some stir-crazy person who was stranded on an island. She's not even going to be coherent enough to participate in one of these challenges.
Well, that makes me wonder, too. Now, does, Aneesa, I mean, like, is she going back to the Redemption House, too? I mean...
You're so smart.
What happened? Like, what happens? What does that mean? You know what I mean? So maybe she won't be so lonely anymore.
See, what is up with me forgetting about the Redemption House any possible second that I can? So obviously Marie's in it. Yes, Aneesa is going to go back into the Redemption House.
Right.
So this is pretty amazing that they're bringing it around round 2. Well, I don't know if it's incredible or it's annoying because are we ever going to get rid of these people?
That's true. That's a good point. It's kind of like how many second chances are going to be given. You know what I mean? I mean, it definitely keeps things interesting because you're kind of like, okay, like I thought they were going home. Obviously they're not. How are they going to utilize them now? You know what I mean? Because obviously we saw the last group how they brought him in randomly. So what, I don't think they're going to do the same thing. Do you?
I don't know. That's a good point. I like that. I think that they might just to be able to get rid of people quickly.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more on the side that this is great because it plays into the Dirty 30 theme.
True.
So these people in the house think, okay, now the Redemption House is done, just like I did, and probably everybody else, unless you're smarter than me, which you definitely are. But so it keeps them on their toes, and they're never expecting all these turns, which is pretty awesome.
Right. I mean, yeah, I'm curious. We'll see what happens. We'll see when it's going to happen because, it's going to be random. And yeah, so that's going to be interesting. And, how many people are going to be put back in that Redemption House, or is it just going to be them? Or we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have no idea.
So another little tidbit we had on the top of the show was this Veronica, Anissa love triangle. They give us some old footage of them with Rachel, and they both dated Rachel at one time. And now Anissa and Veronica are coming together. So,
which, I mean, to me, I guess, I don't know, I must have spaced out or something. I didn't even remember Veronica going that way. So to me, this whole thing was a surprise to me. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're getting down like that. All right. Like, so that was interesting. That was very interesting. And then I thought it was also a little interesting how they ended that night in the bedroom. It almost seemed kind of forced a little bit.
Oh, really? Like, why did you think it was forced?
Well, I don't know. Well, when they showed like Veronica on the ground and Aneesa kind of just like pulling her and tugging on her and like, it was just kind of like, this is interesting. What's going on here? So
you thought it was way more one-sided on.
It kind of seemed like it, but I mean, who knows? I don't know. But yeah, it kind of seemed like it. Is interesting. I mean, it's funny.
I liked this. I thought it was funny. They're two grown-ass women. Like, they know what they're doing. They can do whatever they want. And I loved kind of the reaction and faces from everybody else. Cara being like, oh, this is happening. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was coming from. Like, oh, all right, now it's a party.
Yeah.
Like, this is going down. All right.
And I love Corey saying, if Aneesa wants you, she's going to get you. Right. She's going to pursue you.
And he would know, right?
Which he does the same thing, I feel like.
Right.
So we're going to get into the challenge of the day, the competition, which was ups and downs. But before we do, we want to talk to you a little bit about our show, AfterBuzz TV, and give you guys a huge thank you for tuning in every week and being our fan base. We do have we have an announcement that new things are on the horizon. So there's some things that we're still going to be surprised about, but we want to let you know in advance that there's going to be changes for you that will make everything you find a little bit easier. We're going to curate a lot of our shows that will really apply to you and just make the viewership easier and better for our audience. So we want to thank you guys, and a lot of things are up and coming. We're going to split into some new channels. We're going to combine some panels. We're going to do some different types of forms of content. So we appreciate you guys, and please keep watching us. We're not going anywhere, and we love that you tune in, but we are trying to make it better for you.
Yeah, and that's the whole key behind it is overall the quality is going to be so much better. We're going to offer you new shows, more exciting things to come your way. So don't worry, you're still going to have your favorite shows, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot more that we have to offer now, and it's going to be a lot easier to find and manage, and it's just obviously it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned.
Yes, and we have to thank, big shout out to our founders, Maria Menudos
Yes.
and Kevin Undergaro.
Thank you.
For giving us everything. So, now let's get into up and downs, which I feel like could have fell flat. It could have been a lame challenge, but I honestly was really entertained by this. I liked this one.
That was the slamming Camilla into the pole, right?
That
was
team,
great.
the blue team, made that challenge for us.
That was amazing.
Watching.
That was the highlight of that whole challenge for me. I loved it. Like
Camilla is crazy.
like she's like so helpless up there, and you just see her getting like tossed around and slammed into the pole. She's just like,
and she's screaming, "Hey guys!
Yeah.
Hey guys! Hey guys!" And like, you never know what you're gonna get with Camilla. Sometimes
Right.
she's level-headed and calm, and she just puts her head down and does what she has to do. And then sometimes you get this crazy Camilla who you can't even communicate. And none of her teammates, Cara, CT, or Leroy,
Right,
were even
right.
bothering with her. They were like, "Whatever, Camilla, we're just gonna make it worse for you because you won't stop yapping."
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that was hilarious to watch. It was just like almost like a ragdoll. I just feel like you kind of felt bad for her, but at the same time, it was funny. And I mean, and how difficult really is that challenge though? Because that's like, who's really gonna remember all of those challenges? You know. So I think that was difficult, obviously mentally, but it was just one of those things that like you actually had to think a little bit there, you know. So
I think it was really hard, and it's definitely a trial and error.
right.
Trial and error.
You got
Error?
it.
A trial and error competition. Because your knowledge can only get you so far, and then you have to start guessing.
Right.
And yes, like whatever team gets it first, you're just gonna cheat off them.
And you would almost
course.
assume like the vets would have it right away. You know, I mean, you would think like, oh, they would know right off the bat. And even saw them struggling. They were just kind of like, I mean, CT was like, I try to forget that stuff. You know, everybody's kind of like,
Because CT was always wasted on his
Right,
challenges and
right.
getting kicked off,
Very
or
true.
probably blacked out before he even knew what the season title of that
Right.
season was.
Well, even Bananas obviously didn't remember very much.
I know.
Was-
I loved that for
yeah.
everything Banana brings to the table, and as highly as he believes in himself, he didn't know anything about
Right.
the history of his livelihood.
Yeah, it's just going.
This show is like a reason he has a paycheck, and he
Right.
couldn't even remember the seasons. It's hard though, 30 seasons.
I can't believe it's been that much. I really can't. That's flown by. Like, wow, 30 of them already. That is crazy.
And I thought that Derek was going to be a little bit more of an influencer in this challenge. We don't see any of him. We had him on our show last week, and he is completely in the backfield this entire series.
It was interesting too. Well, all three of them, Bananas, Derek, and Jordan, three vets ended up actually falling short this challenge, which is kind of ironic considering they're probably the most skilled, or they've been the longest, so.
Exactly. And Nicole, why is she the encyclopedia of the challenge? I mean,
Right.
she all of a sudden was like, no, I know this was Kara's first challenge because she lost to this person in elimination, so I'm going to put this here. Like, wow, girl, you have been watching for a long time.
Well, yeah, talk, that's like that left field thing. She just comes, she's like randomly, like she just like out of nowhere, like, wait, what? Like just when you kind of, it's like you almost forget about her.
Oh,
kind of,
yeah.
And then she just kind of pops
You
up,
do
you're like,
forget
wait,
about
what?
her.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, like it's yeah. So that
Because
was interesting.
her biggest thing is her smarts and her brain compared to, I guess, her athleticism, because her stature's not there. She's not
Right.
really a built person. She can't go up against a Tori one-on-one.
Right.
But you wouldn't think that her smarts would play into memorizing all of the challenges of all the seasons of the challenge.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You never know. You never know. And
Yeah.
sometimes they just pull stuff out of nowhere.
So going off of that, Camilla's crazy ass wins.
Of course.
Somehow,
Of
the
course.
blue team that looked
Yeah.
like they were the biggest mess the entire time, somehow Screaming Camilla gets it together. I don't know if it was her or if it was just the rest of her team that carried that weight.
Right. It was, I don't know. Like, I think they were all kind of just, I have no, it was funny. That was like a train wreck with them, but it worked out,
My favorite is Leroy. Leroy is exactly how I would be in any competition that involves your brain. You just look around, you pretend you know what you're doing.
Act like, yeah, that's, yeah.
He's
It's like,
acting so hard. Do people really still believe this out of him? They know he's the guy that just kind of sits back and then
Right.
plays that lucky hand. But I love him. He's the man.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was smart. As you see CT like trying to figure it out, you're just like, Yeah, dude.
CT probably had zero idea what he was doing either. Okay, and then we have, so blue team wins. In second, we have pink team, which is Veronica, Jemmy, Dario, and Tony, which Dario and Tony, they lucked out with that. They have zero concept of what seasons were in front of the other.
That's true.
I'm sure. And then we have the green team, which is Aneesa, Brittany, Corey, and Nelson that come in third. So all these people are not safe, as we know, but they are not in the double cross.
Right.
But then we have the infamous little Aneesa ankle roll of the episode, which a lot of people are saying she milks it. This is her acting. And I kind of have to agree with them. As good as Aneesa can be, because she's been on forever, yeah, she has a way of having all these little unfortunate things happening to her. Like, oh, I rolled my ankle. Oops, I didn't realize that this was part of the game. Or, oh, well, she did this to me.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think twice now that has come to bite her in the butt, though, because I think the whole ankle incident turned around, and that's what I think essentially got her thrown in there, you know.
So do you think that this was her trying to find her way out of being nominated?
I don't know. I mean, possibly. I don't think so, but maybe who knows? Possibly. But again, like, I think regardless, it came to bite her in the butt. You know, it worked against her. Mm-hmm. You know, as you saw in those nominations, everybody was just kind of mean. You know, but they're just like, you're like that person with the injury. You know, you're like the one just like, you're useless. You know, like you can't. You have, like CT said, he's like, you got a flat tire. Like,
yes.
You know,
oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's go into that. Okay. So
right.
we get to deliberation, and this is where I was confused when we were talking about this as we were watching the show. Everybody is just saying Veronica, Aneesa, and Nicole. Jemmy's name, Brittany's name, not even in the equation.
Not even, yeah.
Which I would think that they would throw Brittany in again, but I think that she's really likable in the house. We don't see a lot of it, but I think that a lot of people are friends with her, and they probably just kind of have that relationship that they're not going to throw her in. But between Veronica, Aneesa, and Nicole, who would you?
Well, I think, there's this big targets on them. They're veterans. They have their little alliance. They were obviously a big face on this episode with what they had going on, and then, you know, Aneesa with the hurt ankle. I think they just kind of drew the attention to themselves in the situation. So, I think that's probably a bigger part of it. And then the whole little alliance they have, and then, you know, obviously they wanted to take out vets. They're vets, so I think that all played a factor into it, you know. So.
Yeah, I do. I like it is how it is a Dirty 30. I mean, every time, whatever the group is voting for, that's what it is. So you know the first person that comes out of the first person that's voting's mouth is the person going to elimination. Like, they're not splitting up the votes. Yeah. But I do like how they're giving full length reasons as to why they're voting that person in.
Right.
So, and it's crazy too, because the blue team are all veterans, all Aneesa's friends, all people that she's been on the show with forever, and those are the people that threw her in.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, as you can tell, she was pissed off, and rightfully so. But again, that's the game. That's how it goes. You know?
Yeah.
So,
but for CT, Aneesa's boy, to turn around and say, Aneesa, guess what? You are fully the weakest link.
Right. That was pretty harsh coming from him. Like, you would, but then you never know. CT too. He's also a loose cannon. You know, so it's like you never know. But yeah, I wouldn't expect that per se, but yeah, that was pretty harsh, you know.
And I don't want to rip on Aneesa too much, because she does have a tendency to show up and surprise us, but he's not completely wrong. I mean, kind of.
There's some, it's credible. I mean, I don't know if necessarily that harsh, but
yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, there's all valid. There's valid points in there. But yeah, I think, you know, she was already down. Everybody kind of attacked her on the same thing, and, you know, it was kind of just like. And
I love how she's sitting there on the couch with her ankle all taped up and everything, like such a serious injury.
Right.
So, okay, so Aneesa gets voted in. They're blaming her injury, her politics. The girls don't really know which side of the house, what alliance she's in. Aneesa's big thing is that the girls never talk to her before deliberation, which I'm going back and forth, because I get it. I kind of would appreciate if somebody just said, hey, heads up, I'm voting you in. But at the same time, they don't need to do that. They don't need to sugarcoat it and milk it, and they don't really owe that to you. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. It might even make it weird, or even, I mean, who knows, you might get a conflict out of it. You know, say, hey, like, guess what, Jen? Just so you know, tomorrow, like, we're going to vote you in. You know, it's kind of like, oh, really? You know, so, I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? So I think going about it that way is probably the better route.
It sounds like that's what Aneesa wanted, though. She wanted the girls to talk to her.
Right. And I mean, yeah, I think what they did, I would have gone the same route. It just makes it easier. And two, I mean, especially if you're already not really getting along with someone. I mean, you don't really have the need to talk to him to begin with, you know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of...
So no shocker here. Corey gets
Right.
voted in for the guys.
Right.
I mean, you laid your cards out as early as you could have, who you're gunning
Right.
for. And like Leroy mentioned on previous shows, that's everybody's idea. So what
Right.
Corey said, everybody was thinking, like, sure, you're going to try and go after CT and Bananas and Derek because you don't want to go against them eventually. But
Right.
the fact that he vocalized the words, that just means, okay, we're only coming for you the rest of the show.
Right, and I said this in the past. It wasn't the smartest thing to do. Of course, granted, yeah, like you said, that's obviously the idea. Take them out, of course, but to verbally express that and just to say, hey, my target right there, it's kind of like, yeah, you're just setting yourself up, man. So it turned around back on him. Right.
I kind of like it, though, because it gives Corey a bunch of opportunities to keep proving himself because he
True.
does talk a big game.
True.
And only backs it up half the time.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot yet. We haven't seen much from him, so I guess now he's got the opportunity now. So.
Well, like Banana said, the most impressive thing he's done on the challenge is juggle 3 girls in the house
Right.
and somehow not get his
Right.
genitalia cut off. I don't know how to say that appropriately. I can't, so there
Just
it
be
is.
real, Jen. Be real.
So Corey gets voted in, and now we have double cross time. Nicole, you're so lucky.
I loved this. I loved it because, like we were saying, I was telling you, I was like, well, like, what is her role? She's just kind of there. You forget about her, and then she comes out of nowhere, and then she disappears, and then out of nowhere again, like she just pulls, the double cross. It's like, what just happened again? So I liked it. I like that because it's just like, it's just that like little like. Again, there we go,
I like it too because it means that a good competitor was going in because, like Nicole was saying, she had to pull that cross because apparently Tori, well, we know Jenna and Kayla are obsessed with each other, but Tori's now in that alliance as well, so it was going to be Nicole no matter what, so she had to pull that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I made it so great. It was like, this is your only shot. You have to do it.
Yeah.
Or you're going in, and of course she did it. I think it made the episode that much better.
And Nicole says it was the best moment of her life.
Right.
So-
Because she knows she just dodged a bullet.
That is very
that's
peak
exactly what
life moment for her. I don't know
Right.
if that's sad or not. But she then picks Kayla because Kayla is the devil, is what she says.
Interesting.
So I'd really like to know what Kayla has to say about that. We didn't have enough time to check their Twitter, so I'm sure there's Twitter drama about this. But yeah, Nicole, I don't really know how to feel about this from Nicole's point because she didn't really have depth to her reasoning. But at the same
Yeah.
time, she said it was because Kayla was the devil. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
What's your reasoning behind that? I don't know. They didn't.
I
really-
guess in that situation, it's hard to, because you saw Tori kick ass. You don't want to piss her off and come back in. I guess Kayla might be the only selection in that situation. The girls seem to just want to get rid of Kayla, so that's
Right.
no surprise. And then we have Jordan pulls the X. And some people think
this
that
is
this was a
great.
dirty move.
I loved it.
But
I loved it.
it was the only move. That's all they were going to
Right.
do.
Right. And it's almost like when you watch like a mafia movie, the guy's set up, you already know what's going to happen. It's like, dude, you got it. Like, you have to pull that double cross or you're done, dude. Like, and you knew it. You could see it in their faces. You could see the smirk on Banana's face. Like, you knew, like, it was going down.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed watching
Jordan
it.
picking Hunter to go in against his friend Corey.
Right. I mean, how sweet was that, though? You know what I mean? It's like, you're set up, dude.
Which,
And you're the guy that, essentially they all hate Corey, and then his friend, just for it to turn out that way. I thought that.
I mean, I had to go back and remember, they're friends now, because I
Right.
remember Hunter pounding his chest last season saying, Corey, I'm better than you. Corey, I'm coming after you. They were not friends last season, as I recall.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how it goes. Flip flop. We're friends this season. We're not friends no more.
Yeah.
I mean.
So now Hunter doesn't want to go in against his new bestie.
Right.
Which we don't get to see that one this week, of course. Why would we? They keep splitting the eliminations, but we do get to see the girls. And this was a good game. It was a good elimination, but it felt really quick.
It did. I mean, and again, that could have just been the timing, the editing. But yeah, and for Anissa having her hurt ankle, sprained ankle. I mean, she seemed to do just fine. She was plowing through, and that's a tough challenge. Like I said, that's having your legs strapped down like that to those was it not bowling balls, but
weights, just weighted. Yeah.
And yeah, that's all. I mean, your legs are gonna be burning, and then especially all the weight on the ankle. So I was surprised that she did as well as she did with her hurt ankle. But of course, I mean, I think the odds are a little bit against her too. Being the older, I think she's obviously slower than Kayla.
Kayla, really, that's such a good point. Kayla was such a firecracker. That's all I could think of. These girls have weights on their feet, and she didn't gas out at all, didn't show any signs of being tired. Whipped right up the ladder.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
It was, yeah, and that's a tough challenge. So, I mean...
Did you think that was going to be the outcome, that Kayla was going to win?
I didn't. Honestly, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't. I was like, this is going to be interesting, because we have Aneesa's hurt ankle, but then we have Kayla, who's like obviously quicker, obviously just as feisty, and challenge. And but is she strong? Can she do it? So I wasn't sure. Like, it was kind of like, this is going to be interesting,
Yeah. Whenever I see Aneesa, I want to see her do something head-to-head and physical in an elimination. Like, I would have liked her and Tori to do
that would have been good.
Last week's pulling the Velcro elimination, because that's when Aneesa is the best, and that's kind of like her thing. It's like she said earlier this season, Jenna, I'm going to give you all my body. Like, she just is a physical body person, so I feel like that wouldn't be the best.
Would you say she's a little bit more physical as opposed to athletic?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sorry, Anissa. Dead answer, yes.
Yeah.
It's no offense to her. She doesn't train.
Right. That's true.
So you have athleticism, but you're not working like these girls are in the off season of the challenge.
Right.
So, yes, I think she just used her gift of being a little bit thicker as an advantage.
Which I think in this challenge kind of was a disadvantage. You're heavier, plus now you have weight, so yeah.
Very, very true. Yeah. Okay, so we have some outside of the show drama and some news, but before, I want to talk about the teaser for next episode, because... And all you people in the comments who are saying, all I do is hate on Tony, do you not see what he does next episode? Okay, this is Tony to a T. This is all he does on television. He always goes on with the girl at home. Granted, it's a different girl every time, and he always goes on with a different baby, too. So he always has 2 baby mamas, and now he's going to cheat on both of them on reality TV.
As they show him, like, saying, I'm going to propose, too.
That is exactly.
I could tell you're actually really heated about that. Like that touches a spot in you. I could tell.
Okay. Well,
it gets you going.
There's one thing if you cheat on people in a relationship and you don't learn from it.
Right.
But you're now recorded. You can watch yourself. Your girlfriends watch you.
It's there forever.
Your daughters watch you.
Right.
How do you then really not learn from your mistakes? And this is not to be judgy, like, oh, no one's ever made a mistake. Yeah, he's made a mistake, and now he can learn from it, and now he can not cheat on his baby's mother, who he impregnated, second different woman.
We do have to say that it takes 2 to tango. You know what I mean? It's not just one guy. So, and I
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I mean,
not just one guy.
No, I mean, it's not just him, pulling the strings. There's 2 people involved in the situation.
Camilla,
right,
who we see.
So,
yeah.
And she's well aware of the situation as well.
Sure, but it's your responsibility as the man with the girlfriend and the children at home. It's your responsibility.
Right. I agree with that.
I think we have to say this for next episode, because this is clearly just didn't happen tonight. But
well, what we want to know, send us those comments that you guys love to send. Send those. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Defend him now.
Yeah, defend him. Tell us how you feel. Hate on him, whatever. We're not hating on the guy.
I know.
Yeah, she's not hating on him, but let us know what you think. We want to know.
Okay, and then we also have next week the best episodes in the challenge, which is the trivia episode.
Nice.
These are always my favorite, because they say something like, how many stars are on the American flag? And everyone's like, 10. Like this.
How do you think Nicole's gonna do with this one?
She's so smart. This is her challenge.
We'll see.
Nicole always kills it at trivia.
We will see.
So everything's coming up Nicole. Okay, let me flash back now to some outside of the show drama.
Right.
Some of you, I'm sure, have heard of this already. As you know, a lot of the cast members were at the MTV VMAs this weekend in Los Angeles, and Corey went to Instagram Live, as he often does. I laughed at that. When he was in here and I interviewed him, it was all just Instagram Live and Snapchat. So Corey goes Instagram Live, and he catches some audio of a Kayla and Cara Maria fight. So Cara Maria starts it and says something to Kayla. Of course, we don't hear everything. It's kind of blurry, so you just kind of hear Cara saying, "Kayla, don't go away. I will talk to your face. I'll talk crap to your face," all this stuff. And Kayla essentially says, "Cara, I'm not doing this here. This is not classy. Have a good night."
Right.
And Cara keeps persisting and keeps trying to make this fight happen. But Kayla is getting a lot of heat for this because she takes to Twitter after explaining the situation, saying, "I just thought this was really tacky. We're on a red carpet. There's a time and place for these type of things. She had 2 hours backstage in the dressing room to confront me, and she didn't. But the lights and camera came on, and she turned into a new person." But Kayla's getting heat because people are saying she's just Twitter fingers, and when it comes time to step up in person, she doesn't do it.
Interesting.
What's your take on that little drama?
Well, again, I wasn't there, unfortunately. But I mean, from what she posted, what you're saying, and again, like you said, the lights and cameras came on. She's different. I don't know. Maybe that was a factor. Maybe she's trying to stir something up, get some attention. I don't know. I don't know what the fight was about, so I can't speculate too much on it. But I mean, I do respect Kayla for trying to keep it together, especially at an event like that. With a ton of other people that you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of, you know what I mean, and try to hold yourself. I don't know. Again, I don't know the reason behind the fight, so I can't say too much.
Which a lot of us don't really know
Right.
exactly what happened before. Maybe something didn't happen behind the scenes or when they were backstage to
Right.
kind of provoke Cara. Maybe something happened on the red carpet where Cara said, "Okay, right here, right now."
Exactly.
So we don't know that, but I don't think Kayla really needs to be getting any drama or any hate on Twitter for this, because this is the VMAs. She's never been to this before.
Right.
Who knows if she's ever going again? I don't think there's anything wrong with her saying, "Hey, I just want to have fun tonight. Like, can we not here?"
Yeah, which is what it's supposed to be about, That's exactly it. Like I said, I think what she did was the right move, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's maybe you're trying to get some attention or something out of it. So.
And I feel like it wasn't even that big of a fight, and now it's kind of being blown up. It's this whole VMA challenge drama.
Well, that's what happens, and especially once it hits the internet, it's its own beast now.
Seriously. So we also have an update on Challenge Champs vs. Stars, which we can apologize to Paulina. The Vevmo source was right. That was a credible source. And that season of Champs vs. Stars is confirmed, and I did see Riff Raff in the teaser.
Riff Raff is on it.
So I'm
definitely
pumped. I want to see what that guy's going to do in the challenge.
Right. I'm right.
Because I don't really know what his strengths are.
Yeah, I don't either. That's going to be interesting. So, we definitely still got to get him in
Unless
here,
they
though.
have a braiding hair challenge.
They'll probably be
He
good
has
at
some
that.
mean cornrows.
Right. But do you think he does that?
Or maybe rap. I think he thinks he's a rapper too. And we also have Emily. OG is back.
Nice. Yeah, that's
so
good. It's
happy.
Been a while. Good.
It has been too long. And I think if she were in all of these competitions, she would just blow all of the girls out.
Right. I mean, we'll see. Just no rust on her, you know what I mean? So
No, I
we'll
don't think
see,
she's
but-
rusty at all.
Yeah.
She's personal trainer, works
True.
at a
Very
gym.
true.
Her life is fitness, and she is jacked beyond belief. So
You're excited, aren't you?
Exciting.
Nice.
And I think a lot of people are just coming back for charity for that reason.
Right, which is awesome. I mean, that's always cool, So, and it'll definitely be interesting to watch. I want to see. I mean, this is a mixture of some diverse people, to say the least.
So MTV says that is coming up in fall season, so that's right around the corner. So I'm not
Right.
sure which exact date that's airing, but we will, of course, for you, have our AfterBuzz after show for that new season coming up.
And also, too, I wanted to see, again, we didn't see what happened, at the end of this episode with, the last challenge. So I'm curious just to see now, just to get a little poll. Who do you think is going to take that challenge?
It's hard because I think your height plays a little bit of a factor in this one.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I think they both have good. I think Hunter has better stamina than Corey, and he's a little stockier, so he might be stronger in his legs.
Yeah.
But Corey's taller, so he might climb up the ladder quicker.
It's going to be close. It's definitely going to be close, yeah.
And like we said, Corey kind of has a history of gassing out a little bit.
True. Very true.
I mean, he gets to all of those spots he wants to be in. He's been in several finals and has always fell short.
We'll see.
So it'll be a true test.
What do you guys think? Let us know. Leave us some comments. Who do you think is going to take that challenge?
Okay, I think we covered all of it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And check us out every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Pacific time. And once again, my name is Jenna Bussiere. You can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere.
And I am David Christopher, and you can find me Twitter at DPR Christopher and Instagram at David Punkrock Christopher.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.